What's up, Titans fans? Big week here. A lot of Titans news. First off, the mayor, Kevin Byard, was traded. Second off, Tannehill's out this weekend, so it looks like the Will Levis show is incoming. Stay tuned to hear about this and more on this week's episode of Bite Size Titans. Sports. Bite Size Titans presented by Bite Size Sports. I am your host, James Schmeitz. As I said, big news this week. Major news on multiple fronts. Byard, longtime Tennessee Titan, has been traded. Will Levis looking like he's going to get his first start. Oh, and we do have a game on Sunday. So a lot to discuss here. First off, let's talk about the mayor. Kevin Byard traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for Terrell Edmonds, and 2 draft picks, a 2024 5th and 6th round selection. Byard gets to go home, grew up in Philly. Titans get out of his contract, $10 million this year, 12-ish, I believe, next year. This one, as much as I think it's the right call, I've been sitting on what happened in the last game up in London against the Ravens. I think it's time for Tennessee to rebuild completely, start over. The end of this era is here. I mean, you could really say it was over when they traded AJ, but this one stings, man. Played seven years for Tennessee, played for Middle Tennessee State. He's a longtime Tennessee guy. He will be. He's going to be a Ring of Honor Tennessee Titan. He's a Hall of Famer yet, but he's absolutely a Titans Ring of Honor guy. He will be automatically put into it. Since 2016, he's got the 3rd most interceptions in the league. 27, he doesn't have any this year. Had his first team All-Pro 2017, 2021. Finished last year 108 tackles, 4 interceptions. He is a step slower. Just the timelines don't match anymore, and that's what just sucks. He never got to win it with Tennessee. He was part of some really good teams, but the Titans, I don't think this signifies they're quitting on the season, but they're going to test some younger guys. Elijah Molden's going to get a shot. Terrell Edmonds, the guy that came in, will get a shot. And we need draft capital. We're short on draft capital in this upcoming draft. We just don't have any. We traded and lose one for Levis. We just made some bad moves over the year and don't have any picks. 5th and 6th doesn't seem like a lot for Kevin Byard, but I think that signifies what the league and how they view the players is compared to how we do. There's a hometown hero aspect to Byard. That one, it hurts, man. This one sucks. Was very good for Tennessee for a very long time. Some part of some stellar defenses. That defense in the playoffs against the Bengals that kept us in the game somehow, even though Ryan Tannehill threw it to the other team 3 times. So even though I think this is the right move, it hurts, man. It hurts, and I think it does signal that signify. I don't know if that's a real word. Signal that Tennessee is going to start rebuilding. We got problems everywhere. Offensive line is junk. Our secondary for the 2nd year in a row is junk. I mean, it can't be forgotten that he's a part of a secondary the last 2 years that has been ranked in the bottom 2 in the league. So it's a lot on our corners, but him and Amani Hooker are paid quite well, and it's just not been good enough. So secondary is junk, specifically our corners. Offensive line is junk. We're getting our receivers are no good outside D-Hop, and he's older. Derrick Henry's getting older. Tannehill's older. Tennessee's just got a lot to do and rebuild, and we just don't have a lot of young guys to build around right now. Like if you look into the future, like who are automatics for this team in the future? Jeffrey Simmons, number 1. Skoronski's on there. It's dicey after that, Burks can't stay healthy. It's been a huge problem for him. 2 years into this, he can't stay healthy. It's such a weird deal. We didn't play this weekend. It felt like we lost. A.J. Brown had his 5th straight 125-yard receiving game, and we gave him away for a bag of peanuts. Like, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Now, this trade and the Kevin Byard trade or the AJ trade are completely different things. So I think we got pretty solid value for Kevin Byard here, considering his age and contract and how he's playing. AJ was a different beast entirely. So, Chig, he thinks is a piece of the future. He's not been very good this season. Tajay Spears definitely is one of them. Harold Landry, another one, piece. I mean, they named a handful of guys there. And, locks are Spears, Skoronski, Simmons, Landry. It's 4 guys on offense and defense. Stonehouse, 5 if you include special teams. It's just not good enough, man. They got a lot of holes, and it's a lot of draft picks, a lot of John Robinson's draft picks. I meant to pull this up. Let's get this pulled up. I think it's the 2020, 2021 drafts. Hold on while I pull this up. They've come back to haunt us. It was 2 years in a row. Let's see. I want to make sure I get the right one here. It was 2 years in a row, and it just absolutely kills the team. Let's see. Okay, yep, 2021 here, or 2020. I'm going to pull up 2021. It's back-to-back years is a huge problem on what happened. I just want to make sure I get these both up correctly so we can talk about this. This is how you destroy what was a really good franchise that was winning. You got an A.J. Brown trade after the Cincinnati loss in the spring after that, and that's where you get here. So 2021, first-round draft pick Isaiah Wilson. Pick 29. Played 1 game for Tennessee, isn't in the league anymore. That was absolute nightmare. Offensive line sucks. There's a problem. There's where we screwed up. One of them. I mean, this just gets worse and worse. So the 2020 draft class, Wilson's your first-round pick. Second-round pick is Christian Fulton, cornerback. We all know how that's going this year. Probably won't be on the team after this year. Third-round pick, Darrington Evans, running back out of Appalachian State. Not on the team anymore. 5th-round pick, Laurel Murchison, defensive tackle. Not on the team anymore. 7th-round pick, Cole McDonald, quarterback out of Hawaii. Not on the not on the team anymore. 7th-round pick, Chris Jackson, safety out of Marshall. He's been off and on the team. I don't know if he's on the team at the moment, but you get the hint there. So in that 2020 draft class, you had 6 draft picks, 1 who is currently on the active roster, and I don't know about Chris Jackson. I'm not sure. So 1 of 6 for sure. 1 of 6 for sure. Yeah, Chris Jackson's not on the roster this year. So, yeah, 1 of 6. So, there's a huge problem. Your first-round draft pick is a lineman. Biggest problem on the team is your lineman. Your second-round draft pick is a cornerback who has struggled. 2 worst spots on the team the last 2 years. Go to 2021. It just extends. It keeps getting better. 2021 first-round draft pick is Caleb Farley, cornerback out of Virginia Tech. Has barely played. He has all kinds of issues. ACL, back. He had injury issues in college. 1 pick after him was Dara Shaw, the Vikings lineman, who is a all-world left tackle. Could use him. Second-round draft pick is Dylan Radins, tackle. He's still on the team. Backup lineman, but he's on the team. Floats between tackle, guard. He's played a lot of guard this year. Towards ACL last year, missed a few games. But, yeah. Second-round draft pick, that's your backup. Can't even start on a bad offensive lineman. Third-round pick is Monty Rice, linebacker. He is still on the team. He's not playing very much. Another third-round pick is Elijah Molden. He is probably going to start this week. Now that Byard is traded, he has been moved over from corner. Missed all of last year, or almost all of it. 4th-round pick is Des Fitzpatrick. This is a really bad one. It was a trade-up because right after him was Amon-Ra St. Brown was drafted. Fitzpatrick also not on the team. Another 4th-round draft pick, Rashad Weaver. He is on the team, plays a little bit defensively. Played more last year with Landry hurt. 6th-round draft pick, wide receiver, Racing Math, the speedster. Never made it, not on the team. Another 6th-round pick, Brady Breeze, safety, also not on the team. So from this class, from the 2021, you have Caleb Farley's on the team, but he's on PUP right now. Don't know if he'll even play this year. And when he did play last year, he was absolutely awful. So not counting him, you got Radens, Rice, Molden, Weaver. So you do have 4 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 of 8 there. But then you add in the 1 of 6 the year before, and he's not doing anywhere. You have 5 of 14. A 2-year span, you hit on 5 of 14 draft picks, and a lot of them are at positions of need. Line, corner. It's not rocket science. That's how this team got destroyed. Then you add in the A.J. Brown fiasco, and you go from consistent playoffs, number 1 seed, to we are going to be in the top 10, hopefully top 5. Yes, I said hopefully. So that's how we got here. It sucks, but we need to become the Tennessee Tanks. We need to embrace the tank. Please embrace the tank. We have to do it. Now, this doesn't mean I'm cheering against Will Levis. So, before, let's talk about this. We'll talk about trade, who I think else could get traded here in a second. Vrabel came out and said Levis and Malik Willis are both going to play. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. They're not going to do it. If they do, we're going to get slaughtered. It's bad news, which we need to lose all our games anyway. Get a high draft pick. Rumor came out, I think Ian Rappaport tweeted it, that Levis is starting Saturday. This is the correct move. Now, it's very well known I was not okay with the draft pick. We moved up, lost a pick, and then drafted a guy in the 2nd round that, if for all intents and purposes, shouldn't have played this year. If our team was as good as I thought they were, should not have played this year. So that 2nd round draft pick could have been used on a lot of people to help us out. But my 10 cents is he is on this team now, which drafted is what it is. We're a mess. Across the board, Tennessee is no good. We need to find out what we've got. I don't know what he is. They obviously valued him quite a bit to draft up and trade him. He hasn't been active all year. We know he's got a rocket of an arm. He can move pretty well, and he's pretty inaccurate. We have to know what he is. I think best case scenario is he shows enough to prove that he could be the long-term answer. You don't have to draft a quarterback this year. So he shows it. We lose a bunch of games and still get a high draft pick. And then we can draft lineman, receiver. I'd love to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. I'd love to draft him and then watch Colts fans just lose it every week as their prodigal son's son is playing for their rival and killing them every week. I would love it. He's the best player in college football. It's not even close. I would love for Levis to show enough to show glimpses, flashes, look like a possible quarterback of the future. We draft Marvin Harrison Jr. We load up. We've got $110 million in cap, so we have a huge amount of cap space. We can get some linemen receive. We can do all kinds of stuff, which is going to be really fun. This team will look vastly different next year than it did this year. It's going to be completely different. I don't think Derrick Henry will be back, sadly, but there's going to be a lot of players brought in. # please bring T. Higgins in if he is there. Please bring him. Please bring some defensive players, some linemen, everything. We got a lot of money. We need to spend it. We will. But I think best case scenario, Will Levis shows flashes, glimpses. They could be the QB of the future. We traded up to get him. I think that's what they expect. But we still lose a bunch of games, get a high draft pick. Worst case scenario is he sucks. He doesn't show it. We've now burned 2 years of quarterback picks on him and Malik Willis, who obviously isn't it. And we have to draft another one next year. 3rd round, 2nd round, 1st round. Absolute worst case scenario. So I am cheering for Malik Willis. I want him to be good. I still want Tennessee to lose every game they have. Like, I just want to lose the rest of the year. I want a high draft pick. We have to reload and rebuild this team, and the best way to do that is with a high draft pick, whether that is a quarterback, a lineman, or a receiver. We have to rebuild all 3 of those spots, and hopefully Levis is it, but we don't know. So Tennessee, we have to find out. Even if Tannehill gets healthy, they need to keep him, and they need to find out. So we're going to find out this Sunday. He gets the old Oiler uniforms, which really sucks because Byard doesn't get to wear it, and he was in the promos. Now, Terrell Edmonds, he has the best jersey 2-week history in the history of jerseys, wearing the Kelly Green Eagles ones last week and then the Oilers jerseys this week. That's pretty fun for him. So, and the last thing I want to talk about is other trade possibilities. You've got any vet. No young guys are getting traded. Burke's not getting traded. Chig not getting traded. Jeffrey Simmons obviously not getting traded. Landry not getting traded. Other trade candidates include the big one right now that keeps getting talked about is Derrick Henry to the Ravens and then possibly the Cowboys. I don't know if I can take that one. Byard sucks, and that one hurts, but we suck. And it makes sense. Henry, trading him makes sense. However, I don't think I can get behind it. I actually want him on the team another year. Reason being, I want him to be number one in yards for the Titans, touchdowns for the Titans. He's done so much for us that he deserves. I want him to have those records. However, he does deserve to win, and we're not getting him that opportunity. We have a young back behind him. It sucks, man. I don't think he'll get traded. The PR night, it'd be a PR nightmare. You have to get some serious draft capital back. I don't think you're getting a second-round draft pick for Derrick Henry, not at this age in his career. I mean, I don't think so. Maybe the Ravens think they take him, they go all in, but I don't want to see him in another uniform. It's the one I can't handle. I don't. No, I'm not on board with it. Keep him and sign him another year. Let him retire as a Titan someday. Nope. Can't do it. D-Hop, also on the trading block. Could also not see him getting traded. He didn't really get any leverage signing anywhere in the offseason outside of Tennessee and the Patriots. I think a team like the Chiefs, the Bills would love him. I think he's not elite anymore. He's still really good. He had a 140-yard receiving game just 3 weeks ago. Still very good. Could see him getting traded. We'll see. Don't know. I think those are 1 and 2. And then Tannehill, obviously, but Tannehill's injury, his ankle injury, is going to complicate things. And then trading for a quarterback mid-season is tough, too. It's just track record isn't great on it. So I expect one of them to get moved. It's going to hurt. It's probably D-Hop or Derrick Henry. And then other guys I don't like. None of the young guys are getting traded, like I said. In my head, I thought somebody like Amani Hooker, he's got a good-sized contract, but he's not terribly old either. How old is he? Let's look that up real quick. Give me a roster, please. I think he's still, he's not 30. Let's see. Hooker. Bonnie Hooker's 25. He ain't going nowhere. I take it back. He's young. He's had some injury problems the last 2 years, but he's only 25. He is not going anywhere. He's going to become he's a stalwart of that defense. He's there. He ain't going nowhere. Take it back. Fulton could get traded, but I just don't think anybody wants him. I think he'll just leave after the season. Danico Autry, there's one. I forgot that one. I think he's actually number 1 on the list of possibilities. Last year of his deal, a little bit older, still has it. Could help a lot of teams. I take that back. So Danico Autry is number 1 on the could get traded list. I could see him getting traded to a contender. But, yeah, it's a tough time in Titanland. But I think if we embrace the tank, lose a bunch of games, get a high draft pick, I think they can flip this quick. I mentioned $110 million in cap. That will be it's either the first or second most in the league. I know 99 was second. I don't know how it changed with Byard getting off the books. It's a mega number. There are players coming available. I know T. Higgins is available next year. The 2 defensive ends from the Redskins. Now, one of them probably gets signed, Chase Young, and then one other guy who are both really good. Chase Young, obviously some injury issues. There's players coming. I don't think the offensive line possibilities are great. That's where Tennessee's got to revamp. MPF's going to play left tackle this weekend, which is great. The Dillard experiment is officially over. He could get cut after the season too, but your starting line right now is MPF, Skoronski, Brewer, Brunskill. and Hubbard at right tackle. The only guys I think that are guaranteed is Skoronski at left guard. I think Brunskill is okay at right. I think he gets it, but then you've got possibly 3 spots that need to be fixed. Like Brewer's just too undersized in the middle. He's a real good athlete. He's just undersized, man. NPF has been up and down. He had the suspension. We'll see if he can get some leverage underneath him and just put some consistent reps together. And then Hubbard was supposed to be a stopgap anyway for him, and then now he's full-time right tackle. So huge problems there, but line, and I mean, between the draft and free agency, you got to rebuild offensive line, cornerbacks. You might need a safety now. Do you need a running back now? If Derrick Henry's gone after the season, receivers. You need receivers. It's everything. Quarterback. Don't know if you have a quarterback yet. So a lot of work ahead for Tennessee, and officially the 2019 to 2021 era of Tennessee football is over. We can close that chapter. It sucks. Bengals loss was the official end of it. It just got strung out over 2 years. Started with AJ getting traded, and now here we are. Byard getting traded and everything else. But the Tennessee tanks are here. Got to tank it out, folks. So thank you guys for watching. This is Bite Size Titans presented by Bite Size Sports. You can catch me once or twice a week. Obviously, didn't touch on the Falcons game. I don't even care. I hope we lose. I hope Arthur Smith gets us. All have their own young quarterback issues. You can catch me every Thursday night on The Bounce talking NBA. NBA season just started. We got a lot to talk about. And you can also catch me every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on our sister station dDweeb on Han Shot First, talking Star Wars nerd stuff. Probably my favorite thing in the world. So you can see old Darth Vrabel back here. So thank you guys for listening. Until next time, me and Darth Vrabel will be cheering for the Tennessee Tanks. We'll see you.